What is the one thing that you love and hate about football?
That's a good question, man. What do I love? I love the competition. The competition is the main thing that I like. I cannot replace. Like that 1v1 guy opposite you on the field, on the practice field. That's straight up like you have to beat that person, whether it's beat them physically, pause, or whether it's or whether it's like you have to beat them mentally. Then replaceable. That's the one thing since day one that I love. It's just me v you for however many minutes on that field, and one of us has got to lose, and it ain't gonna be me.
Um, if you all right, so if you didn't play for Blitz, yeah, what team would you be playing for right now? If like Blitz never existed, who would you be playing for?
Warriors. I don't know. I'd be playing for the Warriors. If Blitz never existed, I'd be playing for the Warriors because they're other than the Blitz around here. I think they're the only team that would match my like ambition. I guess like the seriousness. Like I want to win, innit? And I actually don't think any other team around here in the Prem South can win.
What about London? What about London Olympians? Wouldn't you go there?
Nah, bro. I don't think. I don't. I just don't. I don't think that they can win. I don't think that they can do that.
What do you think? What would you say the
When I
difference?
say win the championships, win the
Oh,
championship, I
okay,
don't think
win
they
the
can do
champ.
that.
All right, win the championship. Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's say, all right, let's say all three London teams, Warriors, Blitz, and Olympians, all on the same level. Like everyone works out the same. Everyone is scoring mad points. Who would have the edge? What team would you say would have that little extra push to win it all?
So if we're all, you're talking like, so I guess you're asking like mentally who's got it. So
But
we're all on the
we're
same, we're
all on the
all on the
same
same
level.
skill level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything is sort of to that point. But what
So
team?
this is the thing, yeah. This is the thing. So this is what I was saying earlier. I think we'd have it. That we've had to fucking graft our shit over the last like 6, 7. What did I say? 6, 7 years. Well, like 3, 4 years. Blitz have been grafting, grinding, and I feel like now we have that core group of players who've been here for the last. I'm gonna include the COVID years because the people who were there from 2019 we didn't play,
Yeah,
but we're all fucking waiting to play. But we're boys now, innit? Like we're a much more close knit team. Um, I think I don't know. I feel like the Warriors wouldn't like the competition because they're not used to it. In fact, I can tell you they wouldn't like the competition. They're not used to it because our game with them was close as fuck last year, and the feeling in the game, like they weren't expecting the game that close, and I don't think they've responded particularly well to it.
yeah.
Um, the O's again, just off the times I've played them, good athletes, good coaches, but they just lose their heads, which
Okay.
is
So
yeah. So I think we take it, man. I think we take it. I think we're that sweet spot.
okay. So I heard. So obviously I didn't play last year because obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I heard something that apparently the Warriors didn't have their starters in the game. Is that true, or did they actually have their
I don't
starters
know.
in the game for that? For that,
I have no idea. I
because
couldn't
I've
care
been
less.
told
All I
that.
know is that who was on the field.
So
That's all I saw.
because
I know they had some. I know some of their players now, and I know some of them started. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know their team like that. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
We didn't have our starters, bro. We had. I think we had 3 O linemen in that game. We had the one who come play from D line. Eden, our tight end, went onto the line. Like I went to tight end, was flexing in between slot and tight ends, playing like we were playing like a double tight end.
Yeah,
We didn't have our fucking starters.
fair
We
enough.
didn't have our starters. So
Uh,
yeah.
I was just going off of like little things that I heard like during the year because obviously how obviously it was a close game. Like they were just like, man. I heard some people saying that they didn't have their starters in, and just going to clarify that. And I just need to make just to see and find out.
Sounds like excuses to me.
Uh, if it is, then we're gonna see what happens this year, don't we?
Yeah, man.
All right, this one to be fair, this one I feel like is a bit easy, quick question. Is there what team do you dislike out there? What team do you just want to beat up on and just destroy?
Yeah, guys, it has to be the Warriors, isn't it?
Yeah.
It has to be. They're the only team in the Prem that stress me. The rest of them, like we beat them. We had one stressful game last year against Kent, but we came on top. But I don't think they're too. They're not. I don't know. Yeah, they're not. They're too. I was gonna say too nice, but they don't come on anger and smoke. O's come on smoke every time, or every time I play them, they seem to be on smoke. But again, like I said, I think as soon as we kind of get ahead a little bit, then it disappears. But the games against the Warriors, the ones that I've played, it's been a fight from start to finish. So
yeah,
has to be them.
Okay. What is it? Obviously, is it just the fact that the Warriors are physical, and what is it that you really dislike? What is it about that makes their games difficult and just frustrate you so much? Is it that they're physical and that they always put a hand on you?
I got to give respect where respect is due. They're a fucking good team. They're well organized. They're good. They got mad players. I think in the games that I've played, I think they've probably had some players playing below their level in the sense that they're playing in the UK when they could really be, and they probably have come back from balling in places that are more serious.
Yeah.
Mentally, they're relentless in it, which I think all good teams are. They're all good teams. Like we're relentless as well. Like, and then I don't know, man. But the thing that fucks me off, the thing why I say I hate them, is the arrogance. Because you have to be arrogant. You have to be arrogant to be good. But I don't know, man. There's this level where they think they're just like untouchable, and I really don't think that. I really don't think that at all.
Okay.
And that's what makes me like, nah, we need to beat these guys ASAP to burst that bubble.
All right. So let's say obviously the season's about to start in less than a month, give or say. Obviously, Blitz versus Warriors, the 1st of May. The 1st of May, Blitz play Warriors at home, I believe it is. How are you? Would you be pumped up for that game? Are you gonna be like beyond pumped? Like, would you wish that you could get like 2 to 3 touchdowns on them on that day, like yourself personally?
Listen, yes, of course. Like, to me, that's the one you circle on it. You get the fixtures come out, and you're like, when are we playing Warriors? Because we have to play the other games, and I think we'll win all of our games. I think we'll beat everyone else. But that one, like I said, that's grudge match, man. And especially so early in the season, you can make a statement early in the season, and it lets everyone know, yeah, this ain't what, like everyone starts the season thinking it's gonna be the Warriors who are favourites, and everyone else do as well as you can. Maybe shock. Maybe there'll be a shock. But everyone thinks, yeah, Warriors are favourites. Yeah. Unless you're part of a team who can challenge, then everyone is just like, yeah, Warriors are going to win everything. The only people who don't think that are the people who are trying to be the challengers. Yeah.
So when you play the Warriors, right? Is there any particular player that you just love to go up against? Is there like one person that you just have that unspoken rivalry? Or is it just?
No, I don't think I played. Yeah, no, I don't think I've played them enough times. So I mean, I think I've only played 3 games against them, through injury and, like I said, COVID. Like I joined Blitz in 2019. We had the 2019 season, and then COVID, and then last year. So I haven't played them that many times. So yeah, not really. I don't really have anyone in particular.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, next question. Who would you have as your team's QB1 out of any of the players in the league?
Ooh,
and why?
That's a good question.
And why?
I like that question. Is it people that are playing right now?
People that are playing now, people that you've played with before. Like, who would you want as your team's QB1?
So I played with some good QBs, man. I think I have to choose Pat Daly.
Okay.
I'm going to choose Pat Daly because he's the first player, the first QB. I played with some good QBs, man. I played with Sammy Lee Baker at Birmingham. He was a very good QB. Yeah, I played some good QBs. But yeah, Pat, when we was at Tamworth, that was the first time where I was like, wow, this guy can ball. Like at QB, this guy can ball. I remember he threw one of my early practices with them. I don't know why this always sticks in my head. We had a post, like a skinny post. And I was used to running my post. And after like 3-4 steps off of my break, kind of slowing down. Not slowing down, but just like, I don't know, if I keep running, then I'm not going to get the ball. One of the coaches was like, why are you slowing down? I'm like, I'm quite deep. So no, just run. Like, he'll get it. He'll get the ball to you. So the next one, I'm running full pelt. And this ball sails over my head. And I'm like, what the hell have you just done, kind of thing. And on top of that, this guy can scramble like I've never seen before. Like, he's got a bullet. Yeah, man. I would take that guy in a heartbeat. I just think you've got to defensively scheme for him in so many different ways that I don't care what team he joins, he's taking him up a level from, and that was, so when was that, like 2018, 2019? So, and I think they won the thing that around there, didn't they? And he was playing, so
yeah,
Tamworth won it when he was at QB. So it's clear that he takes any team up a level, man. I think any team, I don't care who your QB is. When he was playing that way, he takes your team up a level.
And if I'm correct, Pat Daly led Tamworth to a championship against Blitz.
Yeah, I think so.
And
I think so.
I believe he had the infamous QB scramble for a touchdown.
Yes, I remember seeing that as well. He like spun out of some mad 2-person. Yeah.
I can.
He's different, bro. He was different. I don't even know if he's still playing. I hope he's still playing because big baller.
I can agree with your choice there. That is probably a really solid QB1 that will definitely transform any team that he goes to be honest.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. So who would you be your backup? Who would be his backup?
Who would be my backup?
If he got injured, who would be the QB that you could have a lot of faith in to just take it down, take it to win a couple games until he comes back?
Yeah. There's a few. I think my next best would be Sammy at Birmingham again, like years ago, 2015, 2016. I think he's actually like the perfect example of somebody who would just do their job and do it very well. Like he had a good arm. He could scramble. He could run. There's a good picture of him floating around somewhere blocking for X. Like he'll put his body on the line, man. He was a good QB and a very nice guy as well. Very nice guy. Good guy, Sammy. So yeah, he's coming in. He's coming in at number 2. He's gonna win me games as well. He's gonna win me games.
Fair enough. All right, next question. Right, who would you bring? Well, what player would you bring from another team to replace someone in your team? Who and why?
Who would I bring from another team?
Yeah, so say like there's a position like
currently. Yeah.
Who were you bringing in, and why the position? Why that person? And why are you replacing that player on your team?
Trying to think of some players. Give me a sec. Let me think of some players to bring in. Because obviously the thing is as well. Now playing at GB, I'm seeing some big ballers, man, in practices. So there's a lot of people running through my head right now. But again, some of the people I haven't seen that much.
How about we make it a bit easier? Let's go position. Let's go each positions, right?
Each position. Right.
So
okay.
Let's start off with QB. Who would you bring in to replace to replace the QB?
Again, does it have to be somebody who's playing right now? Because if I can bring Pat, I don't even know if he's playing, but I'm bringing him right now, bro.
Right now, it's who is playing.
Oh, do you know what?
Who is playing right now?
there's two QBs who I really like. One is Sam Huxtable.
Okay.
I just think he was at Comets last year in Germany, innit?
Yeah.
I mean, he's sick. He's similar. He's what's the word? He scrambles. He's flipping slippery as fuck. He was like when he played at Swansea, he was exactly the same. And he can throw. I think when he was at Swansea, the way he can throw now is very different. So I'm gonna take him. He can come.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring him over.
All right. Running back.
Running back. You know what? Games that we've played. If I could bring one, I don't even know their names. If I could bring one of the Warriors backs, one of those that are big as hell and they can run fast. There's one guy, Dwayne. I think he plays there now. Warriors. He just went CFL combine. Like, he runs heavy. There was one practice where I nearly see him decapitate somebody at GB. I think it was one of his own players. One of the Warriors boys just ran into him. And I see a piece of helmet fly off. That boy runs hard, man. So yeah, he can come back.
Lineman. Any part of the line. So D line, O line.
Lineman. I don't even know linemen like that. You know, I don't really know linemen like that. Our linemen are certified, like Ibs.
Yeah.
Can I clone Ibs?
Yeah, you could clone Ibs.
If I can clone Ibs, give me another Ibs. Give me another Ibs.
Ibs at the left tackle, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Right. At left. Give me another Ibs.
All right. Receiver. You can't see yourself.
Bro, Mike has to be Mike. Big fucking Mike Akinlade, man. I need that guy to come out of retirement and come play football again. Because boy, that is the best athlete I've ever seen with my own two eyes.
I'm not sure that's gonna happen anytime soon. I don't think he's gonna. I think he won't be doing that.
And I don't think so. But yeah, man. Does that count? He's not playing anymore. But
you know what? I'll give it because I would love to see that return as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
See that return as well. Cornerbacks.
Corners.
Now this one, wait. This one, I want you to tell me who in our team are you taking out and you're replacing with.
When I get out, yay!
Out and you're replacing with.
The thing is, first of all, that's a very hard question because our corners, I think, are probably the strongest part of our team this year. So far, I think like they're 30. I think Dot's back. Jason's come back. I don't even know if that's common knowledge, but Jason's coming back. We got Ryan. That's 4 very good DBs. So you asked me to take one of them. You asked me to take one of them out.
Take one of them out and replace.
Okay. Based on them 4, and we got Leo. Leo is certified, man. As well, he's another corner. He's good, man. Based off of them, I'm gonna have to say Dot, just because he hasn't played for a little while because of injury. He's a little bit older than the rest. So I'm gonna take him out of that unit to come in. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of corners. I don't really know corners like that. I don't know. I genuinely have. I don't know. I don't know corners.
Okay.
The corners that I'm thinking of, I'm not going to bring them in because they're not better than any of them, man.
That's fair.
The other ones I don't know. The ones I don't know that well.
So. If you can't think of anyone that's better than them, then I guess that's.
Yeah, no. Honestly, that unit. Yeah, no. That unit is certified.
All right. What linebackers do you know before we go to linebackers?
Linebackers. Going through teams. Shadipo. Daniel Shadipo. Okay. Camworth.
Okay.
Big baller. I'm telling you now, yeah, he's the most annoying person I've ever played against in my life. I don't know why he's so jarring. I just feel like whenever I played against him, whatever I do, he's there. I can run a good route, he's there. I can run straight. I can try and block. He sheds it. So he's coming in. You bring him in.
Okay.
I think he's so good.
All right, D-line. The last one.
D-line. Trying to think of some D linemen. Again, I don't think I really know D linemen in other teams like that. I don't really know, man. Can't answer that one. Can't lie.
Okay. All right. Next.
Again, our D line is very sturdy,
That
so
is true.
we
That is
got
true.
good D liners.
58 is actually
I'm taking out that Micah guy, man. He needs to go.
dickhead. You know, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I am looking forward to playing D line again. I've missed it so much, but that's for another day. Right. So, as a GB player, do you think the current GB team that has been formed can compete against other countries like France, Germany, Austria, Finland, like
Yeah,
these teams that have actually semi-pro like leagues? Do you believe that GB can compete with them and actually win games if they go to a tournament?
100%, 100%. From what I've seen, and obviously it's only been what 4 or 5 practices that I've been involved with a lot of other people. The talent that's there, first and foremost, is so good, so good. And I think there's a lot of people there who are clearly like there's people like me who I'm good at football and I've played in this country and I think I have like a natural skill set that's very good. But then there's people that I'm looking at where I'm thinking, damn, like you know this sport, like you play, you can play. So there's a nice mix of them people. The coaching, I think them man, they will not sleep the GB coaches until they take the program up from what it's ever been, which I think is a big thing. I think they're so driven and organized, and they make it very clear. Like we're not here to make up numbers; we're here to win.
Yes.
So the 100, and I think we'll see it. You will see it when these next games start coming through and people start playing. Like you'll see that one. I think GB will be better than it's been at least in the time that I've seen it.
Yeah.
Since I've been playing, I've seen people. It's already I would imagine more organized and more kind of serious. Even just in the sense that we've got like a practice squad where we are competing regularly with the best people in this country.
No, that's...
Like it's because when I started, it was just people who played for the team. I don't even know how much they practiced. I have no idea because I just knew people played for GB, and every now and again a picture would pop up on my feed of them in a GB uniform. Good game.
Yeah.
So besides their club teams, where let's be real, you're playing 4 to 6 truly competitive games a year, depending on what league you're in, depending on what division you're in. Like truly competitive.
Okay.
Like you man are at stalemate. You're playing the best because even in most prem teams, you're gonna have, let's say, I don't like one player gets injured. And you go from having somebody who used to play in the GFL and has played for GB for years to a rookie.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm talking truly competitive. Like, next man up is as good as the last. There's barely any games out.
Would you say there's a lot of teams in the league that have those players in the squad that the form wouldn't drop from, let's just throw it out there, like an Odell Beckham type of player that in the UK, and it wouldn't drop down to like what receiver was bad in the league this year? I'm trying to think. Let's say Cooper Cup. All right, let's say there's a Cooper Cup, and you drop down to a first year rookie, like
I don't think there's many. I don't think there's many. I think like it depends on the way you're set up, and especially after COVID. A lot of people stopped playing. A lot of people have come back, and they're not quite in the place that they were. I'm speculating. I'm assuming that's the case. But like I say, just the sheer fact that we're practicing against other people who are 30, like proper good players on the regs is gonna make everyone better. Like I already feel like I've got better from the 3 or 4 practices that I've been at than I have in. Like maybe ever since like obviously you get that steep learning curve when you first start, but when you have to play every down and every rep, even to compete with your unit, like you can't take your foot off the pedal for 1 second. That's gonna make them better. It's gonna make I say them, I can say us because I'm part of it now.
Yes.
But it's gonna make us better, like as a team. And I think that will be the difference. I think where maybe they've come up short in the past, I wouldn't ever think that it's because of the talent. I think it's because of the other things.
Okay, so in the other series of Unheard Voice that I did, the
Yeah,
the interviewee said that the GB team always gets spanked. Now,
yeah.
do you feel that that's a true representation, or is that the past and that was in the past? Now, you feel that this team would be able, won't happen. You would be able to spank the French team or the German team, or keep the games close enough that it goes down to a final kick to win the game.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think it?
I don't think. Yeah, I think that's not true. I don't think that's true now. I don't think that's true at all. But I also think it may have historically been true. If truth be told, I don't know how well their man have done in the past. I'm not really too aware. Like I said, I think I really became serious with football just before COVID.
Okay.
So although I was aware of GB, I wouldn't say that I followed it. I know that they haven't been as successful as they want to be, but in that time, a lot has changed in this country. You got things like now, like we said, the NFL Academy. You got Bristol. You got the uni leagues that have got so much better. We've got all these flipping scholars coming in, which is annoying, but it's gonna also drive up the boys' levels in uni. Like everything is geared towards football in this country being better.
Yeah.
Anyone who says different is either asleep or they're lying. So that has to filter through to the senior team. It has to.
Yeah.
And even the setup is more organized, everything. So yeah, I find it hard to picture. I find it very hard to picture from the boys that I'm seeing at practices. I don't know who's good enough to
Yeah.
to beat up on them as a team. I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. So again, going back to the previous Unheard Voice that did, do
Yeah.
you feel that people are they just want to have the accolade of playing in Prem, or do you feel that there are people that are doing their best and working hard? Like obviously, if you when you've watched it, the phrase was that people just want to play in Prem, want to play in Prem, want to play in Prem, regardless if they get dropped down and then come back up. Do you feel like people just want to play in Prem, that they just want to be in the numbers, or do you feel like everyone is actually grinding to get that starting spot and try and win, to obviously make GB
Um,
or and things like that?
nah, I think there's definitely some people who just kind of want to play in Prem for the sake of it. I would imagine. Um, yeah, most people, the majority of people, at least in Blitz anyway, that I can think of, I think are there to grind. They're either there because, for example, for me, when I came to Blitz, I felt like if I didn't play Prem, I was doing myself a disservice because of how I rated my own game.
Yeah.
Um, so either you feel that way, or you feel like, all right, I might not be Prem level, like Prem starter level, but I'm gonna get there, so I may as well be part of a program that's gonna get me like as good as I can.
Yes.
But yeah, I think there's definitely probably some people who are just like, I'm just gonna go play Prem because it looks cool.
Okay. So, what would you say to someone that calls himself a demigod but has never played in the Prem? What would you say? Would you say that is sort of? Do you feel that that person should play in the Prem just to be
Yeah,
like show that you're actually
yeah, yeah,
belong here, or
100. Yeah, without a doubt, you can't claim to be the best if you're not playing against the best.
okay,
And well, so yeah, you're talking about that demigod title. I don't know, man. Imagine flipping Zeus, the Greek god, saying I'm a god, but I'm walking amongst men. That ain't. You gotta walk across. You gotta walk among other gods. No, to
yeah,
be
yeah,
yeah, like
yeah,
yeah. If you want to be the best, you have to play Prem. You have to play Prem.
okay, and okay, so would you? All right, let me put this scenario out for you. Yeah, you play GFL 1. Do you feel that you would come back and play Prem, or go help? Would you go help out a team that you've played with before, like in Div 1, and try to get them up into Prem instead?
It it depends. Like if that's what you're on, fair enough. That's all you. But if you go play GFL 1 and you come back and you play Div 1, Div 2 ball, your game is not going to be the same.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter, unless you have a Div 1, Div 2 team who are running like a Prem team, because I think really that's the difference. The organisation, it's the level of coaching. It's like, unless you have somebody, I'm trying to think of a team. I think Bristol, their Uniball team, they've got a Uniball team now on it, and I think they were in Div 1. But I can imagine that, I think it's called like SGS Pride or something.
Isn't it Fulton?
But I can imagine, yeah, but they're in Uniball now, on it, but they're Div 1.
Damn. Well, they're coming up.
That's what I'm saying. So if it's something like that, and you go to a team that's running that way, that is proper, then all right. But if you just go to any team from GFL 1, from ELF, from literally anywhere, you should rock down. You play.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you play below your level. Your game's not going to be the same. You're still the same baller, but you're not performing at the same level because you literally cannot at a low level. You can't perform at that level.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's. All right. Next question. So, could you run through how your GB, like, how you were able, how you applied for GB, and how the trials were? Like, do you think that that process is done fairly, or is it done on recommendation by other coaches? How do you feel about that?
So what I did, I applied when they said they were going to do the open trials. I sent in my application. I went to the trial. I trialed and I got in, which is I think the way that it happens for most people, if not all people, I would assume. Obviously you get recommendations from coaches, but I think that's the same in any sport. That's the same anywhere. Like, if your coach, and this is another kind of links to your last question, if you're a Prem coach, like say you're a Prem head coach, and you go to GB, let's say wide receiver coach, for example, and you say, like, I've got this player, he sent in his application, like, you got to take him, like, watch his film, but also what's not on the film is the intangibles, or like the commit, like, that's normal.
Yeah.
You can't just send in film and that's it. I've watched some film with some players who make them look like flipping, I don't know, Tyreek Hill himself. Then you see him play and you're like, hold on a second. But similar, you've got people who don't really have film that's insane. You see them play and you're like, damn, you're that kind of baller, kind of thing. So yeah, I think it was a fair process, but at the same time, depends what your idea of fair is.
Yeah. Okay. Some people don't. Okay, that's definitely a fair statement.
But in my personal opinion, I don't think it has to be the same process for everyone. I don't think it does. If you are that good, then I don't think you should have to, just because you haven't played before, you shouldn't have to kind of go through a trial and start on the same kind of level playing field, as it were, as somebody who hasn't really done anything in the sport. Or, like, for me, I hadn't done shit in the sport, so I knew I was going in with I know I'm good at football, I've got some decent tape, and I know some of the coaches that were there I'd played with, so I know they know of me, but that was as far as I went.
Yeah. Okay.
That was literally as far as I went. Whereas other people, I know they're going in, and everyone knows that they're ballers. They've been doing shit in Prem and for years, so that I know they're going to get in, and so does everyone else. But they're still there.
Yeah,
they're still at the trial. Like, they're just kind of there for a formality, innit? Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah, that's fair. That is actually true. So, how would you describe yourself in one word as a player?
Ooh, that's a good question.